Yay! Hey everyone. So, sorry the internet was taking a little while to load. But yay! This is Wasima's hashtag Crazy Sunday Tarot. So I'm just gonna go over here to my channel so that I can see your guys' comments. Make my videos. Actually, I'm gonna go because I can't see you guys yet. So give me just a second. Takes just a moment. I hope everybody's having, well, for me, it's morning. So it's, yeah, it is 7:09 right now, which technically feels like 6:09 because we just had our time change. Okay, so I'm gonna pop out this chat here. I'm gonna minimize this. Yay! Okay, so now I can see you guys. Your seal point's named as Alice. Actually, here is my little seal point. It's Wally Wadito. He come to say hello. Or are you sniffing stuff out? But hey Wasima. Stacey Lamb, Green Owl said happy early AM. Yes. And we just had the time change, so it is it's feeling pretty early because time change at like midnight last night. Went to bed maybe a little bit late, but you know. So anyway, I'm so excited to do a little bit of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Alice in Wonderland. So I have a spread-ish, more like working with the characters of Alice in Wonderland and our tarot cards and kind of, well, I guess you can use oracle cards as well. So feel free, if you happen to have your cards in front of you, to go ahead and grab, you know, one deck, two decks. Maybe you want to mix up multiple decks. Sometimes I like doing that. I'll mix my, you know, a couple of oracle cards with my tarot cards. And, you know, I believe that I get kind of a more in-depth reading with that. So, oh, by the way, I happen to have my light going because it's not that light outside. So I actually have to have my light on in this live chat. But anyway, so let me just type a little something that says, good morning. Awesome peeps. There we go. Okay, so I wrote down kind of a few notes. I wanted to really, oh, yes, by the way, this is my Hello Kitty kind of like spread book, and I got my Hello Kitty shirt on today, so this is my lucky shirt. But I took a lot of the main characters from Alice in Wonderland, and there's a internet site that I like to explore for, there's discussion groups and everything when it comes to Alice in Wonderland. So it's called alice-in-wonderland.net. Okay, so just like that. So alice-in-wonderland.net. If you're so inclined to look up analysis, in-depth looks at the characters, blog posts, kind of looking into the, background of like, the story and really diving a little bit deeper, I think that's an excellent resource. Right now, I think Loki is going crazy in the other bedroom. Okay, so Alice in Wonderland, created by Lewis Carroll. As we know, that was kind of like his pen name. Alice in Wonderland, created in 1865, just giving you guys a little bit of a history lesson. So let's go through the characters and how those characters kind of play out in our life, and then what we can do when it comes to a spread with those characters. Like, how can we understand those characters and how they're actually playing out all around us, because I like often tell my students when writers, create books, or when screenwriters, directors create movies, it's because they have something to say about society. So although the characters may be fictional, it's based off of real life. It's based off, even if it's fantastical, like Alice in Wonderland, or maybe, a movie or story has dragons or, whatnot in it. It all boils down to, core elements, discussions, conflicts of the human experience, and it's you just kind of have to see through all sometimes the fiction to be able to see what the author creator was trying to say. Okay, so first and foremost, we have our little Alice, our little 7-year-old girl who is filled with wonder and imagination. She is fond of giving people her knowledge, letting people know how much she knows, as many 7-year-olds and little kids do. They want to tell you about everything. But she also wants to learn things. She's like a little sponge. She wants to learn all around everything that's around her. And then she wants to regurgitate it, like, hey, I learned this today. I learned this today, and that's kind of why she's also a really endearing character. She also, is very well raised. She's very proper and very polite, and she makes sure that she tries not to hurt other people's feelings. So she's a very sweet young lady. Again, a very endearing character. So I would say that would be kind of like, the 7-year-old within us. Every time we learn something new, we want to tell everybody about it. I think that it's good for us to keep a little bit of Alice in us, a little bit of that I still want to learn, and not just tell everybody my knowledge without trying to take some knowledge in. So it's good to keep a little bit of that Alice character. And then official Chariona. Hey, so this live chat, we're just talking about Alice in Wonderland. And right now we're going over kind of like the characters and kind of how they play out in our lives. And then we have the Jabberwock, which was in Through the Looking Glass and not so much the adventures of or Alice's adventures in Wonderland. However, those were like the really scary characters. They were on this island, the island with the Jub Jub and the Bandersnatch, and and for a lot of kids that probably really scared them, both in, the movie version of Through the Looking Glass and also the book version. But, life has scary elements to it. Either there's scary things going on around us, or there's scariness that resides within us, which would be like our shadow. Okay, so then moving on, we have the White Rabbit. The White Rabbit is the one that Alice follows down into the rabbit hole. He always seems to be in such a hurry. Just like I have my little, well, I mean, he's gray. He's not really a white rabbit, but that's Diego. So, he's kind of this unintentional guide for Alice through Wonderland, because any situation she's in, she always seems to find the White Rabbit, and she kind of trusts him but doesn't know why she trusts him. So he's this unintentional guide in her life. And I think that we have a lot of those people in our lives. They're these unintentional guides, but they lead us through things when we need it most. So sometimes, we always talk about like spirit guides and things like that, but I think sometimes there are people here on earth that guide us, and they don't know that they're guiding us, but they're really helpful in helping getting us through our journey. Okay, so then we have the caterpillar sitting on his mushroom, smoking his hookah, and he's very stern and very curt with Alice, and her questions, correcting her when she's reciting her poem. but he does tell her about eating, you know, a piece of the mushroom when she wants to change her size to adapt to her environment. So I think that, you know, again, this also could be people in our lives. There are some people that come across as really strict, and it's like, why were they so hard on us? But they were teaching us a lesson. They were helping us to be more adaptable to our environments, because, you know, not everybody can be super fluffy and kind, you know, all the time. Some of us have very sensitive personalities, and we're like, well, you know, that person seems really mean. The caterpillar seems mean, but he was teaching Alice something, you know, adapt to your environment, because the environment is not always going to be so kind and sweet. So that is the caterpillar. Then we have the Hatter, or later on in Disney's version, the Mad Hatter. So we have the Hatter. He's occasionally rude to Alice, you know, when she's at the tea party, and he tries to provoke her every time to get her upset. He's also a witness that's at her trial. So we have those people, those antagonists in our lives, where their main goal is just to see if we will react. You know, it's always up to us if we react, and how we react. We're always going to react, but how we react is mostly up to us. So if somebody is just like, you know, bugging you, you know, are you going to explode on that person? You're going to be like, you know what, peace, I'm out of here because I don't want to be with you. So, you know, that's just kind of like an example of, you know, people that will speak out against us, no matter what area of our life that may be. People that will piss us off, you know, but we have to learn to deal with those people, and we learn something about our reactions, you know, when it comes to that. So the Hatter definitely plays out in everyday life. Then we have our Cheshire Cat, which he is a unique character. He is the cat of the Duchess, often seen leaving a grin behind. He can kind of fade in and out as he wishes. And he's the only one throughout the story that seems to listen to Alice 100%. So he does listen to her and her problems, whatever it is that she has to say. And he does have some advice about listening to, or these are the rules, you know, quote unquote rules of Wonderland. And so I think what he represents is more of her higher self, you know, where she's trying to understand the rules of her world and how she can, you know, go through that. So, and, you know, I think there are a lot of other explanations that we may have for the Cheshire Cat. And then lastly, what I have here for our character is the Queen of Hearts. Queen of Hearts is kind of a bee, people. Kind of. So she's authoritative. She's a tyrant. She throws temper tantrums. She's explosive. She has no patience. You know, she's playing croquet with live flamingos. You know, she has hedgehogs as her mallets and balls. Like, she's kind of a cruel person, and she's always off with their heads, always ordering everybody off with their heads, which is not really ever followed through with. But that's what she orders all the time. When it comes to the judicial system, their court system, she demands it be done a completely different way because she is the Queen of Hearts. New Age! What's up? And Papa Squirrel is here. What up? So, yeah, okay, so now, you know, we've gone over kind of, this is just a brief synopsis of the characters. I know most of you guys already know the adventure, or Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Alice in Wonderland. But now, taking those characters, let's apply them to real life, IRL. Okay, so like I said, if you have an Oracle deck, or you have a tarot deck, or you know, whatever deck you want to use. Maybe you can use a mixture of decks. We're going to dive into these characters. So one thing you could do, actually, I'll do this at the end because I have my cards here. I have a quirky deck that I think goes along with the mood of Alice in Wonderland, and that is my Saki Saki Tarot. That's kind of bright, but it's yellow backings. Anyway, this is my Saki Saki Tarot. So lots of color, I think kind of goes with that kind of quirky theme of Alice in Wonderland. Okay, so I have my cards, and our first, I mean, you don't really have to put this in a spread. You can dive into each of these characters if you wish. I kind of just sort of put them in a spread, you know, if you want to do it that way. But if you want to do it in a spread, I have Alice. I have the Jabberwock right behind her because that's actually her shadow. The Cheshire Cat up here because I consider that mostly like her higher self. Down here is the White Rabbit, which is her unintentional guide. We have the caterpillar, who is a teacher, teaches her something, you know, albeit in a very stern way, but sometimes it's how our teachers are. And then we have the hatter, also teaching us something, but kind of in a rude and D-ish kind of way. And then over here we have the Queen of Hearts, which she represents a lot of different things. Okay. Keith, what's up? Okay. So number one, we have Alice. Okay, so with Alice's character, you can say, or you can ask, how or where can I embody more of Alice's energy? Remember, she's that wide-eyed 7-year-old, loves to absorb information and then be able to share the information that she knows with others. Although she's very polite, so she's never bossy, she never cuts people off to, you know, be able to recite her poems and things that she knows. So it's good, I think, to embody some of that Alice, like I had said before. So how can we embody more of that, or where can we embody more of that? So let me look for my own self. Thanks, Keith. Yeah, I grew it myself. Okay, so how or where can I embody more of Alice's energy? And you guys pull along for yourselves. So this will be for me. Ooh, the Two of Rods. Okay, so I do feel like I am embarking on a new adventure, and in order for me to be open to all the possibilities of that new adventure and be open to all the messages that are coming to me and to be able to meet all the people that can teach me something about this new journey, I need to have a little bit of that Alice. I have to have a little bit of that. I want to share knowledge with you, but I also want to know what you know, so that that can help me on the next phase of whatever it is that I'm doing, which that's kind of top secret right now. So there we go. That's how we can incorporate a little bit of Alice. So this is talking about my life, but it'd be interesting to see what you guys have pulled for yourselves. Okay, so like I had shown before, the Jabberwock is Alice's shadow, or our shadow. These are the things that are really scary in our lives. So the question that I have is, what is my deepest fear at this moment? Or you can ask, where does this fear come from? And or, so you can do this as a two-part question. Celtic Witch got justice. Ooh, interesting. May you want to have a think about what does that mean for you, where you can have a little bit of Alice in your life, justice. I almost feel like when she's on trial for some reason, you know, with you know, you got the queen over there saying, you know, let's run court this way, and you know, it had to be like Alice being like, that's not how you do things, that's not how you run court, like you don't just get to, like, you know, make up evidence basically. Wasi got the Nine of Grails. Interesting. Okay, so like the Nine of Cups. These are all interesting cards. Interesting looks into where you guys need to incorporate some more Alice, and where I need to incorporate some more Alice. Okay, so the Jabberwock. What is my deepest fear at this moment? And where is this fear coming from? So maybe I'm going to keep it in line with this journey that I'm beginning. So let's see. What is my deepest fear with that, and where does it come from? So I'm going to pull two cards, actually. What is my deepest fear with that? The Page of Rods, that I'm just like too inexperienced to be able to move forward. I like that they're both Rods cards, by the way. Like, that I'd be too inexperienced. I would mess up somehow, because you know, the journey would be completely new for me. It'd be something that I hadn't done anymore, and I think my deepest fear would be that I would fail. And I think that's a lot of our deepest fears, is failing. So where does that come from, though? Why do I have such a fear of going out on my own? Actually, let's pick this card. Queen of Rods. If that was the Queen of Hearts, I was gonna laugh. But the Queen of Rods. Oh, you know what just popped into my mind? Our deepest fear isn't that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are, uh, you know, great beyond measure. It is our darkness, not our light, that, or our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Like, sorry, it's early in the morning. My quotes are a little off, but yeah, that's kind of what popped into my mind. Wow. Huh. I'm gonna have to think about that. Interesting. 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 I'm wondering what you guys are getting along with that. Or if you want to share your deepest fears at this moment and kind of where those are coming from. Okay. Then we have the Hatter. These are the people that really press our buttons, really test us, kind of piss us off just a little bit. Okay, so the Hatter. Who or what is antagonizing you right now? And how can you deal with them? Okay, so let's keep it in line with this, you know, mission. Although you could do these questions separately and dive deeper into them. Like if you just wanted to dive into the Alice, you know, portion of the spread, you know, you could dive really deep. You could go down the rabbit hole, so to speak. Or if you wanted to go down the Jabberwock and really do some shabber work, shadow work, if you wanted to. That's why I was saying, you know, this could be kind of a spread-ish. But if you want to dive deeper into any of these areas, by all means, pull multiple cards, and I hope that you do. Wasi got the 8 of Fire, the 8 of Spears. Ooh, interesting. So that's like that. So fear of moving forward, maybe at a rapid pace, maybe a pace that you are uncomfortable with. Interesting. Okay, so this could be separate, like what's antagonizing me right now and how can I deal with it? But I want to go with this. So what is bothering me when it comes to this, and how can I deal with it? Like all the little things that go with it. Yes, I feel it is a very strong spread. And Sapphire Hands is here. Hey, thank you, thank you. Okay, so what is antagonizing me right now with that? And how can I deal with it? Ooh, that looks like my card. Really? Okay, so I get the Strength card. So what's antagonizing me about the situation is that I know deep down that I would be able to get through this. I am strong enough. I've been through some like messes in my life where I felt like, you know, I was always constantly starting over from ground zero, even like sometimes looking for a place to live, you know. But I've always just gone forward. I've always just done things. I've always just kind of done well because I'm willing to work hard. And so what antagonizes me right now is myself, because I don't want to be the fool and see, you know, well, I'm so scared, like what's going to happen? Where deep down I'm having this mental conflict of like, yeah, but you're strong enough. Like you've always been strong enough. Like you've always gone through, you know, situations that were pretty bad, and you've always lived to tell the tale and laugh about it and have other people laugh about it too, you know? So it's like this mental conflict is the antagonist right now. It's myself against myself. With just go for it. Just do it like Nike says. Swoosh. And the other side of myself's like, I don't know, because things are really nice right now. I don't want to mess that up. Let's just keep things all status quo. And the other side's like, no, let's party and see what happens. So that's pretty interesting. I like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so that's the Hatter, so that goes over there. Okay, next we have the caterpillar, the caterpillar. So who are you at this moment? How can you adapt to a current difficult situation? So remember, he wasn't the like happiest and cheerful of her teachers and guides, but he does teach her through his sternness and his strictness. Hey, this is how you deal with the environment around you. You adapt. You know, you have to adapt because you know you'll never be able to move forward. You'll either be make yourself too big or too small for the situation, and it doesn't fit the situation. So um caterpillar, who am I at this moment? Who am I? I can't, I just have to. And how can I adapt to this current difficult situation? So who am I? Samantha the card girl. Hey, how are you? Oh my gosh, so many fun faces in here. Well, I can't really see your faces, but so many fun peeps in here. Okay, who am I at this moment? Who am I? This is who I am. I am the Ten of Cups. I am a wholly complete person, no matter what happens. You know, without all the stuff around me, I'm still whole and complete. That feels pretty good. Thank you. That's a really nice message, actually. Thank you. Okay, so how can I adapt to the current situation? The difficult situation is just remembering that. Remembering that no matter what situation I've been in, be it, you know, an awesome time in my life or really difficult times in my life or times where I was like broke as a joke and didn't have anything. I haven't used broke as a joke in a while, by the way. But the um, the consistency within all those scenarios was me. I was always a whole person, no matter what was going on. Oh, Sherry Bug, love the 10 of Cups card. Wasi got the Page of Coins. Celtic Witch got the World. Hey, you guys got some pretty awesome cards too. I think this is actually like a really loving message. Do you like how the caterpillar kind of comes off also as like this arrogant, I ain't got time for you, kind of a jerk? But his message is really loving. You know, he doesn't totally dismiss Alice. He isn't totally like, I'm just on my little mushroom smoking my hookah, like, peace out, little girl. He's like, you know what? You got to learn to adapt to your environment. Here's a little piece of mushroom, or here's a little something, something to help you grow or shrink depending on the situation. So he does care enough to want to help her with that. So I think that's where this loving message is coming from. That's pretty awesome. Okay. Sorry, it's a little cold in here. I know it's a little rainy. Then we have the white rabbit, a little furry dude that we chased down the rabbit hole multiple times in our lives. So we have who in this life is guiding you right now, and what's your hurry? Okay, so these are like physical people in our lives that are guiding us. You know, we always talk about like spirit guides and angels, and I do believe we have a whole spiritual team, but we also have a team of people that don't really know that they're our team here on earth, but they're guiding us. Oh, the lovely rabbit. Oh, yes. Oh, the Diego. Okay, so actually, let's put Diego up here. Okay, so the rabbit is guiding us. Who is my human guide, or it could be an animal guide? You know, somebody who's physically on this earth, who doesn't know they're my guide, but they've been guiding me anyway. Okay, that's too many cards that fell out. Saki, you're gonna have to go with one card. And then what is my hurry? So I'm actually gonna pull two cards. Okay, so my one I put on the computer here, and this will be my, oops, nope, this is gonna be my number two over here. So who is, you tell him, Diego. Who is my unintentional guide? The Queen of Coins. Ooh, I have to have a think about who my Queen of Coins is. Let me see. Excuse me, Diego. Um, who is the Queen of Coins in my life? You know, I have a couple of people in mind. One of them, I consider her my Canadian mom. I have a few moms. I have a Chinese mom. She's pretty awesome. I have my Filipino mom, and I have my Canadian mom. I got 3 moms. You did not know I could have 3 mothers. But yes, my Canadian mom, who's totally cool, and she's coming into town on Friday, so I'm so excited. So we're gonna meet up one of these weekends and have dinner. Um, but yeah, actually, it is her. Actually, with the glasses too. She is my queen of coins. You know why? Because she had started actually several businesses from the ground up. She's always gone from having nothing to having a lot. She's gone from zero to hero, like a lot of times in her life. She, created this actually kind of like a chain of businesses. And actually, that's how I got to know her. When I had left teaching the first time, because I did like almost a year of teaching, and I was like, this is not for me. And I was trying to figure out my life. And I actually started working for her as like a sales girl in her bamboo store. She had a bamboo store. I know everything about bamboo, by the way. There's like thousands of species. In case you're interested, different discussion. um, but yeah, so eventually she had to sell that business to move back to Canada. She had a property out there in Canada in a place called Cherryville. Um, and she fell on some hard times, fell back to having nothing. And she still had her home. Eventually she had to sell the home. So she actually went to like zero again. But she doesn't let that bother her. She decided, well, I'm going to be a waitress, and that would be hard for a lot of people, being like this huge business owner, owning properties, to then having nothing and having to wait on others, but she doesn't mind because she loves people and she just genuinely likes interacting with people. So she waitressed. She started, continuing to do what she loves, which is like working with her hands and bamboo and making things. And she's slowly building herself back up again. And then she emailed me and was like, I'm going to start the business again. And so like, she's like this all the time. So there's a lot that I learned from her, and there's a lot of strength I can get from her. So let me see. Looking back at what you guys had. Da, 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 da. Sherry Bug said, I got the all. It's an extra card in the Children of Litha deck. Ooh, that deck is so beautiful. It means collective unconscious, the universe, and what a great answer. That is a great answer. Wasi got the 7 of Cups, got some phantoms and spirits helping. Hey, there you go. Papa Squirrel said, 3 moms, you hit the lottery. I know, right? So yeah, and my 3 moms helped me with so many different, aspects of my life. My Filipino mom, she connects with, well, I mean, my Filipino heritage, because I am Filipino, and connecting me with that, and there's just a lot in that culture that she helps me with, and you got my Chinese mom, who's more like my spiritual guru, my spiritual teacher. I don't really want to say guru. She is my teacher. She helps me along as much as I think I help her as well, which is kind of, almost feels like arrogant of me to say, because I always see her like so wise and so awesome. But I know that she always does tell me that, I have a lot to teach her as well. And then I got my Canadian mom, who is the, I guess, not to say a fool as in, like a fool, but like the fool, and just like the child that just isn't afraid of the future, and just does things. She's like, who cares if I have nothing? Who cares if I have a lot of stuff? The main point is that I'm connecting with people and I'm happy. So that's my Canadian mom. So those are my three moms, and they help me with three different areas of my life that I am in much appreciation with. Samantha, the card girl, got Seven of Swords in the Tarot and Wonderland. You guys got some interesting cards. Okay, so what is my hurry right now? So I got my Canadian mom. So what's my hurry? The Four of Cups. Is because, well, I see this in more the reversed position. I hate waiting, and I hate sitting still, and I hate I hate boredom. I always need to be moving and doing something, and let's just get to it. I hate the, just being patient. To me, this is like a patience card, and I have no patience. And she runs around like a lightning bug too, but at least she knows that things take time. Whereas me, and I'm like, I want it all to happen right now. Sherry Bug said the best relationships are where we learn from each other. Exactly. Okay, so this is my white rabbit. Okay, so we still have two more positions, people. Okay, so we have the the Cheshire Cat. The Cheshire Cat, where he's just got the grin. Imagine this all disappeared and just the grin. Okay, so this is the advice from your higher self. And your higher self is always grinning because your higher self knows what's up. You may be in total distress, in shambles, like, oh my gosh. And your higher self is like, it all works out. Why is my higher self stoned surfer? That's my higher self. It's always the stoned surfer. Like, why? They're always so chill. That's my higher self. Okay. What does my higher self have to tell me then? Message from my higher self. Aha. Two of Coins. So my grinning higher self is like, it's all about balance, dude. Like I said, my higher self is kind of a surfer. It's like all about balance. It's like, if you aren't balanced on your surfboard, you're totally going to wipe out, and then you're going to get into the spin cycle, and it's going to be all foam city all up the nose. You're not going to like that. You're going to be vomiting a little on the seashore, a little bit of that sea stuff. Oh, Sherry Bug, you got the Two of Pentacles too? Okay, so yeah, balance. So higher self's just like, you can't rush things. You just gotta have a little bit of balance of movement, and at the same time, being able to soak stuff in. So balance and soaking it in. So just like you're surfing, you have to have balance on the board, but you also have to take in that you are riding a freaking wave. It's almost like you're flying. So there's a balance between that. You can't rush the wave. You're going to fall. You can't be too into the wave, because then you're going to ride the wave in and you're going to hit the shore, kind of like I did one time, and I flew out onto the sand. And that's when you're like, meet Kelly Slater. I did, face to face at Bolsa Chica Beach, and he steps right over you and you're like, oh, Kelly Slater. Again, another story for another time. Okay, so that's the Cheshire Cat. And our final position, Queen of Hearts. Off with her head. Off with her head. Okay, Queen of Hearts. Where do things feel out of control or unfair, and what can be done? Okay, so again, I could keep with the theme that I've been doing. Papa Squirrel's like, right? And then you're like, I know. Okay, tell me more. I know. Well, I guess you could pull a few more cards, see if you could get more out of that grinning Cheshire Cat that is your higher self. Okay, so the Queen of Hearts, totally not in control of herself, totally just acts out, short-tempered, just things aren't going my way, temper tantrum, so where do things feel unfair, just like she didn't want to run a courtroom fairly. She wanted it to be run her way. So where are things? Papa Squirrel likes the surfing analogy. I miss surfing. I haven't surfed in a while, but I used to surf a lot when I was in college and a little bit after college, and but yeah. So I got my boards under the house. I should do that again. I have my long and my short board. So where are things feeling a little unfair or out of control? We'll pull 2 cards. We'll just say, where do things feel unfair? 5 of Rods. It always, in my perception, and again, this is just my perception, and and this is how we look at other people. I look at other people's lives and I'm like, it just seems like they like excel towards success so much more easily than me. Why does everything in my life feel like it takes 10 times more effort, energy, and difficulty than everybody else? Why is there always so much more resistance when I try to achieve success, than everybody else? Sherry Bug got the 2 of Pence again, and Nancy Bacho, hello. So that's interesting. So what can I do about that? Okay, so I feel like I always feel like I have to work harder than everybody else. Everybody gets it so easy. When they have a goal, they're just like, poof, look at me, I'm so successful. And where it's me, I like work hard and work hard. I always do achieve my goals. However, I'm not saying I never do. It just takes me a lot longer. So what can be done? Ooh, that card kind of flew out right away. The 6 of Coins. It's kind of the I'm being hit in the head with a a hedgehog croquet ball and a flamingo that is the croquet. So what can be done about me feeling like it's so much harder for me to achieve my goals than everybody else? This is, why don't you focus on not on how quickly can I obtain this, but how much can I give to others in the process of me working towards my goal? Why don't you help other people with their goals along the way? Sage advice. Thank you, universe. So instead of being so focused on why does it take me so long to get to my finish line, or what I perceive to be my finish line, because the race is never ending technically. Hello, track coach here. But it's like, why don't you help people finish their races, or help them along the way, or coach them along the way, while you at the same time work on your race? Because helping coaching up your own teammates makes you a better runner as well. It helps you with your race, and it helps the win feel that much better, because you have more people now that appreciate you that will help celebrate with you. Wow. That's pretty cool. Thank you for that information. It's almost like sometimes I'm separated and I'm just talking to myself. Sherry Bug said, I guess it makes sense. I feel things are overwhelming and unfair when things are out of balance. So the deck, I like it. Get in balance, girl. And Wasi said, nice. Nancy said, beautiful. So yeah, sometimes it's like I'm like spilling out this message, and I'm like, wow, that was like a good message. Thank you. You're welcome. So yeah. Okay, where did I put my Queen of Hearts? Okay, so she goes down here. Okay, so what you guys could do with this spread is you could put all of these characters together, like I said at the beginning, and use it for a particular situation. Or you could just focus on each character as whatever it is popping up in your life. So if you're feeling like, I'm in a hurry to get something done, and I'm just wanting to know who's helping me out right now, and I want to dive deeper, I want to go further down the rabbit hole, achieve a goal, or I just want to see what's going on. You could pull so many cards and dive so deeply into the white rabbit, and then that could be all you focus on if you wanted to. Like I said, you don't have to do all of the characters at once. Just depending on what's going on in your life, you could focus on just that one character. Walsey said, learn by teaching. Yes. And Sherry Bug, it's the purple hair talking. It is. Purple hair be talking. You know, and for the Queen of Hearts, maybe something's going on. You feel like something's unfair or things are getting out of control. You know, maybe you want to dive into the Queen of Hearts and just start pulling tons of cards. You know, just trying to understand her energy. You know, her character that's playing out in, you know, whatever situation or area of your life. And then what you could also do, and this is just one last thing, you know, because I know that my homegirl Steph is coming on. Well, at my time, it'll be 8 a.m. my time. For her time, it's 4 p.m. I think. Yeah, so she's not 9 hours ahead. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it'll be 4 p.m. Steph's time out in Belgium. You guys definitely go check her out. Journal de Femme et Spiritual Steph. She has a long name for her channel. She has such a wonderful channel, and she's my homegirl. Oh, and I definitely have to go back and watch Claire de la Lune's live chat as well, because, and although hers is in French, and I can only pick up bits and pieces of French when people are speaking, I can absorb a live chat. I can absorb the messages. So Claire de Lune, I will be watching the replay. It was a little early for me in the morning, but I'm definitely going to go back. Thank you, Wasi. So yes, Gérald Dufin, Modern Espiritual Steph. And then after that, it will be Wasima, who put this whole thing together. She had some inspiration of Alice talking in her ear, and she got, you know, all of our channels together. And then after Wasima, don't forget, the person who's rounding us all up is Christine and Celeste. So Wasima will be doing hers in English and French, and Christine and Celeste will be doing hers in English and French as well. So so yes, pulling up the rear, bringing us home, taking us into like a wonderful Sunday is going to be Christine and Celeste. And, you know, definitely, I mean, check out Wasuma, who is well, actually, she was our white rabbit. She was the one that kind of had us follow her down the rabbit hole and create some awesome, you know, things for Alice in Wonderland. So thank you, Wasima, for being our white rabbit. Okay, so one last thing, like I wanted to say, you could ask each character, or again, you could just ask one character if you wanted to, if you just like felt compelled to just listen to the caterpillar for today, you know, if you wanted to. But, and maybe you could do this for a daily poll, but just ask each character, what do I need to know today for my highest good? Or what do you have to teach me today? So if, let's see, what do I want to do? Wasi said, I am the white rabbit. Yes, you are. You led us down the rabbit hole, girl. Okay, so like maybe I just want to pull for Alice today, or maybe I just want to hear from the Cheshire Cat, or maybe I just want to hear from the caterpillar. So you choose, you know, your card of the day. Who do you want to hear from today? So let me think. Who do I want to hear from? Do I want to hear from the Hatter, the Queen of Hearts, the White Rabbit, the Jabberwock? I don't think I'm ready for the Jabberwock. It's like not even 8 a.m. right now. Alice, Cheshire Cat, or Caterpillar? I'm gonna go with the white rabbit. Okay, you're very welcome, Wasima. Actually, no, thank you for putting this together, because this was a lot of fun. Although, yes, I had to set my alarm, and I was a little disoriented at first, and me and the dude were disoriented. We're like, what the hell? Why is the alarm going off? Isn't it Sunday? Is it Monday already? No. I am more than happy to do this. Like, I was so psyched. You should have seen me last night. I was like taking notes on Alice in Wonderland, like, you know, and trying to like figure out, like, looking into each character in more depth, and like, how can I put a spread together? Like what could I do? Like, how could I dive into each of these characters? And I was literally going down a rabbit hole. It was like, oh, I want to do this and this and this. And I was so excited. You know, I was having dreams about it last night. Like, you know, and then when my alarm went off, I was actually like, even though I was like, I get to do this today. I'm so excited. And I'm going to wear purple hair. I knew I was going to definitely do that. So, okay. Last and final message. Let's make this message for all of us as I get ready to sign out. I have a few minutes. What is the message from the White Rabbit for myself and for all of us today? What is the White Rabbit? I should be asking Wasima, what is our message today, Wasima? It is a wonderful spread. I'm going to meditate with it for sure. Me too. I'm going to definitely dive in a little bit deeper with these characters. Steph, hey girl. So Steph, I'm going to watch a little bit, okay? Okay. What do you have for all of us? What's your message? What do you have to teach us today? Okay, White Rabbit. Page of Rods. Okay, White Rabbit's message today. You can have lots of ideas. You can have lots of dreams. But wow, where is this coming from? I probably heard this somewhere. It's just popping into my head now. You can have lots of dreams, but unless you take action, a dream will remain a dream. I must have heard that in a speech somewhere. I'm doing a speech unit with my students right now. I must have just heard that somewhere and it literally just popped in. You know, you can have lots of ideas and lots of dreams, lots of thoughts, lots of projects that you want to do, but unless you take action on them, a dream will always remain a dream. Thank you, White Rabbit. Thank you, Diego. Jake, you're welcome. Yay, I'm glad you like the spread, Sapphire Hands. All right, so we got 1 minute. All right, Steph, we're doing the countdown for you. What are we at? We're at 7:59 and 32 seconds. I'm gonna do the countdown when we get 10 seconds till, and then you guys jam on over to Steph's channel. So again, I'm gonna just copy and paste it one more time. Actually, no, I'm gonna put this in all caps. There we go. Yes. So you guys can get out over there. Janelle Moon M. Down. Hold on. Spiritual. Okay, hold on. I'm just making sure that I spelled everything. Did I say mom? I can't spell this morning. Okay. Celtic Witch, you're very awesome, or very awesome. You're very awesome, and thank you for stopping by. Thank you. So yes, this is the next channel that you guys need to go check out. Steph said it's okay. So yeah, thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you, Wasima, for you know, emailing me and inviting me to this. I had a lot of fun. You know, this, I'm gonna be working with my spread like big time. You know, working with all these characters. Yeah, and actually, you know, I've watched the Disney version of Alice in Wonderland. I've seen Through the Looking Glass, and you know, I feel kind of odd saying it, but as an English teacher, I've never read the book, Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, or Through the Looking Glass. So that's going to be my next book. That's what I'm going to be reading next. So thank you so much for inspiring me to do that. And thank you for inspiring this spread. So anyway, you guys, thank you all for hanging out. I'm going to go wake up a little bit more. I actually have my tea that's been waiting here. This is my little My little sloth. Yeah, so thank you, Wasima. Thank you, Celtic Witch, for coming by. Steph says, I got a problem. It's not 4 p.m. that you were beginning. No, it was 3 p.m. I start right before you. That's you. You start at 4 p.m. um, and Papa Squirrel, thank you for coming by. Keep the hair, by the way. You know, maybe we'll go red hair next week, or maybe I'll wear my pink hair, but I do love my purple hair the best. But yeah, you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And how do I always end? Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out, you guys. Bye. Thanks for coming. Bye, Wasima. Bye, everyone.